Love is God. Live in love. Live in love.
Sai Ram, welcome to the another episode of Oh My Sai. Again, it gives me great pleasure and happiness to share a couple of more instances when I look back how Swami has played a wonderful role in our lives. I would like to recollect one particular instance which happened in our family with my grandmother. Swami had performed the 60th marriage ceremony of my grandparents, and at that point of time, Swami had materialized a Mangal Sutra to be worn by my grandmother, which my grandfather had to tie it around my grandmother's neck as part of the ritual. Now, when Swami materialized this Mangal Sutra was created along with a yellow thread, that auspicious thread around which this Mangal Sutra was created. My grandmother, typically of a person of that generation, she felt that the thread was getting worn out after some time. So, the first instance when she told my grandfather, why don't you just make a gold chain so that I can put this Mangal Sutra attached to the gold chain? Now my grandfather said, this has been created by Swami and I cannot do any addition or deletion to this. You please ask Swami directly. So my grandmother, in all her innocence, the next opportunity when she got with Swami, she just appealed to Swami directly. When Swami came to her house for lunch, then after lunch, Swami had come, he had lit the lamp in a puja room and everything. Swami, my grandmother just pulled out a Mangal Sutra which Swami had created. He said, Swami, you did this for me, you created for me, but you see this thread is getting worn out. It'll be nice if you can create a gold chain also for me with which I can wear this. Swami said, son, I'll give. So this happened and years passed by, maybe exactly 20 years passed by after that. And by then, my grandparents were past 80 now. Swami had performed Bhimarada Shanti for all these aged couples somewhere in 2005 and 6. And my grandparents were also part of the group which Swami had decided to perform. And Swami performed this function with full pomp and, grand, in a very grand manner, where both the bridegroom and the bride were given silk dhotis, saris and everything. It was done in a very proper ceremony. Now, by then Swami was seated in a chair and Swami used to be moved around. So my grandparents were seated in the front and Swami was touching the plate which was being given to each couple. So when my grandparents' turn came, the plate was showed to Swami. Swami touched it and it was handed over to my grandparents. And Swami's chair was moved to the next couple. Swami gestured that the chair be taken back to my grandparents again. So slowly they brought Swami back to my grandparents. Swami gestured to my grandmother to show the plate again. So she showed the plate. Swami put his hand and pulled out the gold offering which was given to them, gift which was given to them. Swami opened the box and there was a chain inside. Swami showed to my grandmother, gold chain, Swami said, and gave it to her. So people around thought it was a joke. Swami is just pulling a leg of an old lady. But only my grandparents knew what was the significance of this remark. It was a word Swami had given 20 years back. And imagine the millions of devotees who have come in and out of Prasanthi Nilayam, the interior rooms or interaction with Swami. After 20 years, Swami remembers the particular word which he has given and he gives. Now this clearly goes on to prove when Swami says his connection with the devotee is heart to heart. Even though there are millions and millions of devotees, but Swami's connection with each devotee is heart to heart. So this was one wonderful example Swami gave in our family, whereby he proved that how he connects to each one of us. This was one instance. The second instance is a little bit funny, in the sense, again, Swami in those days used to distribute saris for all this old devotees who used to live here in Mandir. My grandmother was a very lucky recipient of at least 3 to 4 saris in a year in those days with Swami's own hands. And many people would have heard about this instance. My grandmother is one of the people who practiced the art of asking for the right sari, not taking what Swami gave, but picking and choosing amongst the pile which Swami used to get it and take the right son. Swami also had the love and affection and the patience to stand there and ask, is this the one you want? Is this the one you want? And then he used to ensure that he gave the right one. So one particular occasion, Swami gave the sari and my grandmother received it and she went home. But there was a banter between her and my mother. My mother had inadvertently, there was no meaning behind the statement, but she had just said that Swami is going to give silk saris today. But what Swami had given was not a silk sari. So my grandmother chided my mother. You kept telling me Swami is going to give silk sari today. See, Swami has not given. It's a normal sari which Swami has given. But nevertheless, my mother wanted to keep my grandmother happy. He said, no problem. She, normally a sari, you need to stitch a fall and other things. So my mother immediately promptly went outside, stitched a fall, got everything ready and came and gave back. So the sari was ready to be worn on the occasion which was to come in a few days' time. But to the utter surprise of everybody, next day Swami came for darshan and told the ladies, the sari which I had given, please get it back. I'm going to give you some other sari. So now my grandmother was petrified because here was a sari Swami had given. They had already stitched the fall and everything. And now if Swami is how to give a sari where already everything has been done, the edges have been stitched, everything has been done, how to give it back to Swami? And we cannot say we cannot give also. So with the shivering hands, my grandmother went home, she prayed in front of Swami's altar, got the sari, sat there, and it was taken back, and then Swami gave silk saris, everything got over. So my grandmother was overjoyed, but the thought remained that what has been utilized not worn, but which has been got ready for wearing, had to be given back to Swami. And she was having that in the back of her mind. Now just see how Swami is Antaryami and how he plays. So my grandmother got the silk sari for this year. So the next instance, 6 months, 7 months later, when the sari distribution was happening, Swami came distributing sari, everything, came in front of my grandmother, took a sari, then looked at my grandmother's face, kept it back, went through the pile up and down, searched and picked the exact sari which my grandmother had got earlier and which she had stitched the fall and threw it on her lap and smiled at her and walked on. So now we hear about Swami, as Antaryami and doing everything, but you just see the minutest detail. He goes to the very core and how he relates to each person. And this was an unforgettable moment because when my grandmother got the sari and she didn't realize it's the same sari, went home, and when she opened it, she got a shock that what they had done 6 months, 8 months back, it has come back to her after all this time. So this is how when we recollects all these moments with Swami, you realize how unforgettable all these moments have been with Swami. Oh my Swami, when we say, these are all the moments which make us think and exalt like this. Sai Ram.